conference comes at a very good time because a lot of the rules have been published very recently, and now we actually have things to discuss. Before it was a big speculation, how is the US LCR going to look like? But now it's out there, and as a consequence, we can now debate, obviously, what the consequences are for us as an institution.
I've really appreciated the various presentations. There were some real highlight presentations. The one by Citi was really helpful in terms of understanding how are the larger banks thinking about their cash flows and their funding sources, particularly deposits. So that was very, very helpful. I think the presentation we had this morning from the Federal Reserve was also very, very helpful in better understanding how the Fed is thinking about the LCR and what they're looking for and not looking for with respect to internal stress testing.
It's been a good experience. It's been very useful to hear from other practitioners and the regulators on the views about liquidity risk management, the views about upcoming regulations, and the latest developments in finance on intraday liquidity risk management with systems and information.
Having the opportunity to network with other people who are really focused on the liquidity risk management issues, and especially interesting to hear directly from the regulators. So I think from that perspective, it's been very valuable.
Staying up to date is critical, and so meeting the people, I find the events in particular interesting for all kinds of networking opportunities, and I'm looking forward to more speakers to come in the next 2 days.
Largely, I was hoping to get a better understanding of liquidity management from a larger bank perspective, but the big objective I had as well is just networking and having informal conversations with people who are doing things differently than us, maybe looking at it from a different perspective, and from and that's been wonderful here.
I'm planning on achieving two things. First, I'm planning on learning more about what's the cutting edge thinking on liquidity risk management. And secondly, it's a great opportunity to meet peers or other firms. It's actually quite useful to be able to compare notes on how you're approaching new regulations, how you're dealing with certain issues. And that's really where the value comes in, from being able to make those connections across them.
So the ability to make connections with other people who are dealing with common issues and really trying to understand what some of the challenges they're having. But coming from the IT solution perspective, interested in hearing what the problem sets are, so that we can make sure that when we address these banks, we're approaching them with the right context and a good understanding of what their problem domains are.
I really enjoyed the Barclays presentation. Helmut presented on the impact of the intermediate holding company and how that might change the way they do business, the way they will manage the liquidity risk, which is, it's a recent development, so it'll be very interesting to see how that develops in the future.
I would describe it as an event that is extremely useful for keeping abreast, having good regulatory overview, but also learn what institutions do in terms of the internal liquidity frameworks.
I'd say that the content and the speakers are of very high caliber. So when looking for continuing education opportunities, this has been very well done. And obviously the networking again is very good.
It's a very useful event to learn about how others are thinking about regulations. It's also a good event to network, meet peers, and it's also very useful to learn about what other providers are doing, information providers or different technology providers as well.
Great networking event, great opportunity to sort of put your finger on the pulse of what's going on, in the area of liquidity risk management. So it's the latest and greatest information. It's a good update and a good validation of what our strategy has been in terms of approaching these things, what their issues are at this stage.